It's roughly 48 hours until kickoff, and I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why I believe the Lions are going to have an opportunity to win in Chicago. Well, let's get into that and maybe just a little bit more in today's Lions Talk Live. Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host. Once again, I am Dan Thornton. Thank you for taking time out of your Friday to tune into Lions Talk Live. I want to dive into 5 reasons why I suspect the Detroit Lions have a good opportunity to win over in Chicago. I'm going to say this, it's an opportunity for them to not only get a win on the road, something they haven't done under Motor City Dan Campbell, but also get back into the playoff race. Sure, anybody who's watching this and a bit of a Lions fan thinks I'm probably crazy to say that, but if the Lions win Sunday, here's a bit of a food for thought for you. If the right teams fall ahead of us, we're only going to be a game, maybe 2, out of the 8th seed for the wild card playoff in the NFC. So here's an excellent opportunity for Dan Campbell and co. to feel that they can push the fan base into believing more and more, let alone the athletes, into what they're selling. So I'm going to say this, a win here would do wonders for all parties involved in Detroit. So before we get into the breakdown of what the Lions are going to have to do to pull off that victory, I did want to reach out and say thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you. You're really helping the channel grow. If you haven't yet subscribed, if you got about 2.5 seconds, could you consider subscribing and even hitting that like button? If you want, throw some comments in the section below. But I thought we did a really good job last week breaking down 5 reasons why I thought the Lions could beat Green Bay. We're going to dive into that here in just a second. But I did want to take a quick moment and say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in, helping the channel, subscribing, liking, and leaving some comments. I'd really, if possible, by Sunday, if we could, before kickoff, get the channel to 420 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We're going to start with number 5, work our way up to number 1. But the number 5 reason why I think the Lions are going to have an opportunity to beat Chicago, it's going to start with the offense. I think DeAndre Swift, who's been obviously injured more than probably all of us really anticipated when he's been out before the bye and then even after the bye at Dallas, Swift is trending towards getting a few more reps. And what history has shown us both last year and this year, when Swift's on the field, this offense is vastly different. It's nothing against Jamal Williams, but Swift is a home run hitter. He can do things few players on the Lions can. He is somebody other defenses have to account for all the time. Now, do I think he's going to get 30 reps? No, I think they're going to probably limit him to about 20. But where I think he's going to be most impactful is out of the backfield. It's no surprise the Bears' defense isn't great this year, and they've already got rid of 2 of their best defenders in both Quinn and, I can't even remember the linebacker's name right now, but you get the gist. So with that being said, Swift coming out of the backfield opens up a lot of the passing game. It takes pressure off St. Brown and, whoever the other receivers are going to be this week, because let's be fair, it isn't going to be DJ Shark. It isn't going to be Josh Reynolds more than likely. We'll know more by game time, but my guess is later today at 4 o'clock, Reynolds is going to probably be ruled out since he hasn't practiced this week. So whoever they're going to put out there, it's going to be incumbent upon Ben Johnson to find ways to get Swift in space and cause matchup nightmares for the Bears. They're not great stopping the pass. They're not great stopping the run. In fact, they're horrible at stopping the run. That's where I think Jamal Williams will come out and come after him. It wouldn't be a surprise to me to see Ben Johnson go with 2 running back system just to get Swift and Williams on the field at the same time. All right, reason number 4 as to why I think the Lions are going to have a decent shot at beating the Bears at Soldier Field this weekend. We're thought about a couple different options here, but the bottom line is going to be the tight end play. I think Mitchell has come up, and there was a reason why we trade Hockenson. 1, we didn't think we could keep him, at least not at a price we wanted, but also it's been the emergence of this guy. Just like against Green Bay a week ago, is he going to get a ton of plays? No. But since the Bears are so bad at stopping the run, Mitchell, who is great as a run blocker, I think him and Zylstra will probably get a lot more reps because the Lions are going to probably go heavy formation on them and run on them and run on them and run on them. That's going to do wonders for this team as they try to trend upwards as far as getting back into the playoff picture. If they can control the ground game, which I think we have an option to, that also keeps the Bears' offense and Justin Fields on the sidelines. All right, reason number 3 why I think the Lions have an option to beat the Bears. It's going to be this: our defensive line and linebackers. I know, just a month ago, everybody would have thought I was crazy for mentioning it. But the one thing the Lions do have is they do have some more athletic players on the outside. You know, whoever you want to list on that name of charts, you know, whether you're talking about Hutchinson or Pascal or, you know, whoever else. We do have some guys with some fairly athletic abilities out there. And it's going to be my guess you're going to see a lot more of the same formations we used, soft zone coverage, less man, as we did last year against Lamar Jackson. Hard as it is to believe, other teams then started copying the Lions. When's the last time we could all say that? But it's my guess Aaron Glenn is going to have to go with that because he understands he cannot allow Fields to beat us on the ground. He's got to force him to beat him through an air. No easy task, but I think it's what the defensive line is going to be challenged with. So continuing on with the defensive line, it's my guess that you're going to see the tackles inside hold. They're not really going to try to push. They're going to try to maintain and close gap integrity. You're going to see the 2 guys out wide, whoever that's going to be, if that's going to be Hutchinson or whoever. We should expect to see Hutchinson and Kaminsky inside a lot, especially on third downs, if it's 3rd and 5 or so, to try to control and contain. But the outside ends, I do believe they're going to, instead of going so out wide with their rush paths, they're probably going to be more of a controlled rush on the inside to try to force Fields. If he does try to get out and leak, he's going to have to loop around and go wide. That's going to buy the linebackers, who are going to probably be sitting back in zone coverage, a little bit extra time to come up and play the run if need be. All right, reason number 2 as to why I think the Lions are going to have an opportunity to win in Chicago, that's going to be the safety play. All indications so far is that everybody's new superstar, Kerby Joseph, is going to be able to play. But not just him, but, you know, the rest of the crew, I think, are going to be used in an ability to help spy or control Fields. Let's be fair. You know, the Lions have done well with their safeties throughout most of the year, whether it's Tracy Walker or whoever else. But I think you're going to have to see one of them potentially come up and play in the box to help control Fields. They're going to have to force him to beat us throughout the game repeatedly with his arm. And not that he's not a good passer, but you can't give him both. You've got to take something from him, and that would be my guess, is that you're going to see more or less a safety playing as a linebacker spot from Glenn to come up and control that aspect of things. If the Lions' run game can force Fields into limited reps, that's all going to put stress on Fields and the offense for the Bears, which means they may be forced into some less than ideal situations. All right, and then now, the number 1 reason why I think the Lions are going to have an opportunity to win. It's not going to be a player. It's going to be the coach, Aaron Glenn. Because I'm going to say this. If last week you saw how the players, if you watched the locker room celebration, respond to Glenn. Clearly the team loves him. Clearly Dan Campbell thinks highly of him. They're good friends. But you've heard me bash all the coaches on this team last year and this year. So here's what I'm going to say. You know, Campbell and Glenn, Ben Johnson, they are all getting some reps. They all should be improving. If we come out and see Justin Fields run all over us during this game, then I'm going to say this. There's probably 0 chance Aaron Glenn makes it to next season. Whether that means they get rid of him during this season or in the offseason, you know, I'll let others speculate, and we'll all have to wait and see on that. But with that being said, if Glenn really is progressing upwards, that means we're going to see growth from him. And that growth means that the trend is our friend. We're seeing Glenn evolve, improve, and be able to come up with some schematic schemes that catch other teams off guard. Too often this season, I think, you know, you heard me talk about it, especially against Seattle, they knew when they were in this situation, 3rd and long or whatever, and they saw, you know, 5 guys, 6 guys across the line, exactly what the Lions are going to do. You heard a few teams talk about it throughout the season. So if Glenn is going to evolve as a defensive coordinator and put our players in more ideal situations, he's going to have some schemes that he can run in the first, second, third, and fourth quarter that the other team can't say, okay, I know what they're doing and I'm right 80% of the time, 90% of the time. If we can keep Justin Fields contained, keep him guessing, you got a chance. All right, so now you know my 5 reasons as to why I think the Lions have a chance to win this Sunday. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, if you have not yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Sorry about my voice, but I am dealing with chest cold or a head cold this week. So the longer I'm on the camera talking, the more it flares up. But again, I hope you all have a great Friday. Hope you all go out and enjoy the weekend. And I hope to see you all Sunday. Remember, we don't do Lions Talk Live on Saturdays, but I hope to see you all Sunday on another edition of Lions Talk Live.